On this toy spot, we're going to be having a look at DC Universe Wave 3. I was trying to build this up. Wave 3, the Solomon Grundy wave, and this is the variant Sinestro Corp Sinestro. And before we have the figure out of the package and have a look at the figure, we'll look first at the package itself. The package is the exact same as the other Sinestro, so the same picture of Sinestro here. Certainly the backdrop is the same as it has carried over through all the other figures. I think you can see as well, I've got a little dust on the boots and also on the thigh area of Sinestro. This dust has plagued me through all these reviews. Curse you, dust! Anyways, on the back of the package, the other figures in this wave are Nightwing, we got Robin, Deathstroke the Terminator, we got Sinestro, and Green Lantern. As I've already mentioned the two variants in this wave were the Slade unmasked variant of Deathstroke, and also the, what I'm going to be reviewing now, the yellow Sinestro Corp Sinestro. And then build all five, or take all five figures and take their pieces to build the Solomon Grundy, the very large Solomon Grundy, and I'm looking forward to actually getting that guy reviewed. I already read the biography on Sinestro for the original classic variant, or classic version of Sinestro, but I'll read it again here, just in case somebody wanted to watch this video over the other one. I don't know who would want to do that, because these videos are fantastic. Biography on Sinestro says, Sinestro was once a distinguished agent of the Yellow Lantern Corps, or the Green Lantern Corps, see, I'm already making a mistake, chosen to patrol Space Sector 1417 as its power ring wielding Green Lantern. Instead, Sinestro took control of his home world of Korugar and turned it into a police state. After his abuse of power was made known, he was banished to the antimatter universe. Now armed with a yellow power ring and allied with the Guardians, as well as his own army known as the Sinestro Corps, this fallen warrior is now the Green Lantern's greatest foe. Statistics: first appearance Green Lantern, second series, number 7, August 1961. Just want to take a moment and stop on this. The one problem, and I know they had to, they wanted to utilize the same card. Made no sense for them to make a separate card strictly just for the variant. But the one thing I said about the blue Superman from Wave 2 kind of carries over with here. It would have been nice for the first appearance if they had included the first appearance of the Sinestro costumed Sinestro, as opposed to the regular Sinestro. Would have been nice if they put the first appearance there. At any rate, real name Sinestro, occupation supervillain intergalactic criminal, base of operations formerly Korugar, currently the Antimatter Universe Quad. Special abilities: Sinestro's power ring emanates a beam of yellow energy that can allow unaided interstellar travel, create offensive and defensive force fields of anything Sinestro can imagine. It is a powerful and deadly weapon in direct opposition to Green Lantern's power ring. So there you go. That's packaging on the variant of Sinestro. What we'll do is we'll get this guy opened up and we will get a better look at the figure. We'll also do a comparison over to the classic Sinestro, just so you guys can see a difference of the two figures. So lots more to come. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned. And now that Sinestro is out of his package, we'll get a look at the figure. No need necessarily, guys, for a checklist. The figure does come with the right leg. Now it is the very same right leg as the other right leg from Sinestro, so there is no need to install it onto install it to Solomon Grundy, because he already has both legs. So this is an extra piece. If you have both Sinestro figures, you'll probably find that you have the same issue. Don't be alarmed, guys. It's better to have extra pieces than missing pieces. So right leg out of the way, Solomon Grundy remains intact, and of course the review of him is coming up right after this guy here. That being said, let's have a look at the figure. The figure itself, like I said, is a direct repaint of the classic Sinestro. we'll do a comparison first, as well give you a view of both energy batteries. It looks like this one is ever so slightly more yellow than this one here. This is from the classic costumed Sinestro. As you can see though, it's still, I think, a little too green for this character. It would have been nice if it was a little more yellow. This one I could probably write off that it is from classic Sinestro, but it would have been nice that this was a little more yellow for the Sinestro Corp Sinestro. But there's the two batteries, compared wise. We'll bring in classic Sinestro so you guys can just see the difference between the two figures. The faces are the exact same. The only difference is with the faces is the fact that, I think you can hopefully see it, Sinestro is missing his pupils in the Sinestro Corp Sinestro, versus the classic Sinestro has his pupils very much intact. Aside from that though, same body mold, there's nothing really different between the two. The only difference is it looks like they've put in a different belt, or a different torso or lower torso area, as you can see, versus the belt that goes completely through. Aside from that though, it does look in fact to be the exact same mold. There you go. Okay, so we'll move classic Sinestro out of the way. If you want to see a full review of it, just check out my review of the classic Sinestro. But we'll move him out of the way. The Sinestro Corp Sinestro variant looks very nice. It's got the very bright yellow over top of the black, and actually the paint on it is pretty clean. There doesn't seem to be any indication of bleeding. The yellow is pretty solid actually as well. There is no areas where it didn't look like it completely penetrated the black, so it's pretty clean. I've heard issues regarding torsos being, or lower torsos being swapped around. Actually, if you want to check out JTrain 997's review of this guy, you'll see that his back lower abdomen area was actually swapped around, so that this part here was on the front and then this part was on the back. Very strange. I don't know if that's constant, like if that was a constant problem. I certainly don't have that problem, and if anyone else has had that issue, I mean, certainly let me know. I'd be curious to know how many problems there were with this figure. But I mean, my figure looks pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty overall happy with the figure. I have one issue, and it's not really the figure's problem, or it's not the figure's fault. The head. Yes, it is just a repaint, like I said, of the classic Sinestro. Now, the classic Sinestro has kind of like that receding hairline hair on the head. The Sinestro Corp Sinestro, if I remember right, in the comics actually didn't have this hairstyle. I believe it was shaved on the sides, and he just had the hair on the top. For that reason, I don't know if I like this figure as much as I could. It just would have been nice if they had done just a couple more tweaks to the head to make it look current to when he wore this costume. And I don't know if I'm just being too meticulous about it, but really, if you want a DC Universe Sinestro Corp Sinestro, this is the way to go. I prefer, though, the DC Direct Sinestro Corp Sinestro. I think the sculpt on him is fantastic. When I actually get him down the road, I want to do a review of him, just so you guys can see just the detail on him. I mean, certainly the figure is a little higher too, so it doesn't fit this scale. So if you do want a Yellow Lantern or a Sinestro Corp Sinestro, this is the way to go. I just though prefer the other figure a little bit more, just because it's a little more current and accurate. But as you can see, he's got the Sinestro Corp or Yellow Lantern logo which is actually a really nice logo. It carries over as well on his side sleeve. I pardon myself again, I'm going to be sniffling a lot during this review. In the way of the figure's articulation, he has the articulated head, and again, it doesn't seem to bend forward and back very well. It just can rotate left and right. He has the ball jointed shoulders. You can rotate the bicep, and that's my phone ringing. You can rotate the bicep here. You can bend at the elbow. You can rotate the wrist. You can bend at the torso. You can rotate the waist. And actually this waist is a little stiff on the Sinestro, but that's fine with me. And you can bend the leg out, forward and back. You can rotate the thigh, which seems like it's going to give me problems. I'll rotate this one. If it's stiff, I'm just going to let it be. I would hate to have that break off. You can bend at the knee, and you can also bend at the foot. Standard articulation is the same as all the other DC Universe figures. Overall, it's not a bad figure. I think though, looking at it, I prefer still the classic Sinestro, just because I grew up with Sinestro looking like this. But I do like the additional. I mean, if they're going to do a variant, I do like the fact that they gave him the Sinestro Corp costume. Granted, his head I don't think is as accurate as it could be, but still a good figure nonetheless. I would give this figure probably a good 8, and a really nice addition. I mean, certainly again, if you're going to do a variant, I mean, it's nice that they went with this variant of the figure. Certainly as well, considering that there's the 2-pack Sinestro Corp figure set out there as well. You can add them to his ever-growing army. But a good figure. That was DC Universe Wave 3. That was the Sinestro Corp variant of Sinestro. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys for the review of the Collect and Connect Solomon Grundy. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.